Hi, I'm Amy from Rock Your Day Job, and this is part 2 of thought work. Now, the last time we talked about this model, which is a pattern for analyzing the results you're getting. You're getting results that are driven by your actions or creating your results. The feelings are driving your actions, thoughts create your feelings, and your thoughts are about circumstances, which are facts. We talked about that. Who has your back? Having your own back is about decision making. When you make a decision, you decide that you're going to have your own back. You're not going to beat yourself about it. You're not going to second guess yourself. You're going to make a decision, and you're not going to entertain self-punishing thoughts about the decisions that you make. That's the concept of having your own back. We talk about, does this serve you? Especially when we're talking about thoughts, you really want to think about, is the thought I'm thinking helping me and getting me a good result or not? And nothing at the expense of yourself. This doesn't mean you're selfish. This doesn't mean you're not willing to put in. It means you're unwilling to do anything that will punish you, that will hurt you, that will give you a net negative. This includes working so long that your health suffers. This means habitually giving up sleep in service of somebody else's objectives, right? You always want to be doing nothing at the expense of yourself. And everything you have to do, you want to be asking yourself, how can I do this not at my own expense? All right, we didn't talk about this one yet, but we will. Circumstances are neutral is where we're at today. So facts, the circumstances in our lives are facts. Those facts are neutral. That means that the quantity of work that you have is neutral. It's not good or bad. So I'll back up. It's a little easier to see when we talk about people dying because we think, oh, somebody died, that's a negative event. But we can imagine a time when somebody might be happy that somebody died. Right? Somebody might say that ended that person's suffering. They were really suffering. So it's a blessing, right? Or we could be devastated that somebody died. The fact that different people will have different feelings and reactions to an event tell us that the event itself is neutral. It's the person's thought about the event that brings the color, the positivity, the negativity, the emotional charge. The event itself is neutral. Your job and the amount of work you have is neither good nor bad. It's just a fact. So how this plays out at work is we tell ourselves, I have so much to do that I am overwhelmed. It's terrible. And we think we're talking about a fact. My job is overwhelming. We think that's a fact. It's a thought. The way we know that it's a thought and not a fact is you could look at somebody else and say, they have 17 tasks. I have 32. My job is overwhelming and theirs isn't. And we go talk to that person and they're like, look, I've got 17 tasks. My job is overwhelming. This is how we know those are thoughts. They're not facts. And the beauty about thoughts is thoughts are optional. Whatever thought you're thinking, you can think multiple thoughts about the same situation. So you think that because you have so much to do, that your job is a terrible job. That's just a thought. It's not a fact. Your job is just your job. It is neutral. Your thoughts about your job, I have a terrible job, I have an excellent job, those are optional thoughts, and you can think whatever you want. Now, I am not suggesting that you think a thought that you don't believe. You should, when you're thinking, I have a terrible job, you want to modulate that to something believable, which might just be, I have a job. You might not be at a place where you can believe I have a great job. But thinking I have a job feels so much better and drives a different set of reactions than thinking I have a terrible job. That is the key. And that's why we bother. We bother with this stuff because the results we get are driven by our actions. Our actions are driven by our feelings are driven by our thoughts, and our thoughts are optional. We can pick different thoughts to think. But if you're not paying attention to what's going through your brain and you're not trying out different thoughts and trying to figure out what result you're going to get, then you're just at the effect of whatever the heck your brain happens to toss out there. And I have to tell you, your brain is not tossing stuff out there in order to give you the best results. Your brain is basically trying to offer you the easiest thing it can. That's stunning information, and we'll talk about it more next time. Because your brain, if you are not managing it, it is just running around giving you the easiest thought ever. And sometimes that thought doesn't serve you, which takes us back to always wanting to know, does this thought serve? Is this thing going to get me the result? Is this thought going to get me the result that I want? So remember, circumstances are neutral and thoughts, what? They're optional. Baby, you don't have to think anything you don't want to. And you shouldn't. All right, I'll see you next week. Thanks.